Welcome to Studio A, MCTV's original variety show. John Osborne, Eliza Grotta, Juliana Zadaran, Teresa Romanis, Rafael Beretta, John Monzo, Nora Prose, Tony Cabral, tonight's musical guest, and our featured guest for this evening. Now welcome your host, John Osborne.
Heyo, and welcome to the John Osborne rant. I mean, this week's episode of Studio A that we've proudly dubbed, "This is what you're gonna like it!" I just want to come out here and formally apologize for spearheading this new dark age of Studio A that we're spiraling into. Ben's off doing God knows what in Europe, and the moment I get any power, it all goes to shit. The other week in class, Jeff Bass asked me if I'm up here being John Osborne or if I'm playing the character, and it has propelled me into an existential crisis that I can't escape. Where does the character begin? Where does it end? Who am I? Am I the friend that nobody likes? Because I don't know. I'm a college student. I'm not trying to have a late night talk show breakdown. I feel like overnight life heap responsibility my way. I'm just like, oh, I can't just stay inside and watch a movie. So you're telling me now I have to pay the city of Poughkeepsie a bill every month for trash? Literal garbage. Who has to pay for trash? I didn't know that. There's frankly a lot of things I don't know. The camera that is literally filming me right now, I don't know how that thing works. Last week I was driving back home and I heard this pop followed by a cute little hiss, and I just started to slowly sink right as 18-wheelers fucking fly by me on the freeway. So long story short, I got a flat tire. And since I'm too inept to understand the complexities of changing a flat, I panicked. I just called the cops. Don't worry, they sent the sweetest roadside assistance employee in the Hudson Valley, Bob Reynolds. Shout out if you're watching, Bob. You are a jolly man who I need every day in my life. So this morning I woke up and I needed a much needed self-esteem booster. I called my mommy, and I called my mommy seeking some validation for my midterm grades because I don't know, a little consistency in life is nice. I like to tell my parents what's going on with that to make sure I'm still alive. But hey, she sounded really proud over the phone about my A's and B's. So that was nice, but the worst part was I lied about most of my grades. Most of those A's and B's were a lot closer in the C range, but she doesn't have to know that. Sure, she shares this show on Facebook, but I know she's not watching. Anyway, after all that, we have a stacked show for you guys tonight. 3 wonderful people are joining me on the panel to dissect everything popping in the culture. And later, I'm lucky enough to be sitting down with our fearless leader, Mountain Dew connoisseur, great friend, and probably the best man I know, Kevin Kleinschmidt. So sit tight, but first, this.
Nice is to personalize the pie. If you're going to throw it at someone in particular, you might want to add a letter. And because this pie is for all those men that wear papooses. Oh! That's for the guys that wear papooses. All right. It's for Russ Kemp and for Daniel Craig.
God, you're right.
No, this is milk. This is called milking.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God, what's happened? I am so sorry.
Yes.
Let's not waste another minute and get right into tonight's thrilling topics. Joining me on the panel, we have Jillian McCarthy.
Hi, guys.
Jack Sullivan.
How are you, John?
I'm doing pretty good. Better now you're here. And then we have Natalie Ford.
Hi. Wait, oh, hi. You guys are over there.
Well, thank you guys all so much for joining me tonight. For our first topic with movies and television, let's get into Academy Award-nominated actor, funny man, and my personal fashion icon, Jonah Hill's directorial debut, mid-90s. It's coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the trailer?
The trailer was, I think it was pretty decent. I think it put a lot of value into its work, and I think it will just bring a lot of moral and meaning to the story.
I think it will be a pretty nostalgic film for those who grew up in the 90s.
Definitely.
It brings back the time where there wasn't any cell phones and kids were playing outside kind of thing.
Yeah. Did you see anything in the trailer that you connected with? I know I was 96. What about you guys? Where you guys land?
97.
I'm 99.
Right,
98.
we're towards the
So
tail
we're
end,
all
but
in the
it kind of trickled down a little bit, 90s culture.
Everyone knows
Yeah.
the 90s didn't end until 2004.
I think so. I'll roll with that. I
Yeah.
can live with that.
You have a valid point there.
The style.
I think it came down. Yeah, well, more than you were mentioning, it just seems like a really personal project, and he's mentioned in interviews that with your first debut film, you only have one shot to come out and say what
Right.
you want to say. So I'm excited to see what he'll do with it.
He'll be proud of it.
Yeah, I think so too. What did you think of it, Natalie?
I thought it looks deep. It's not really my type of movie,
Okay.
but I like the film style, and it looks really gritty and personal.
What do
which
you
I
like to
think-
go for film?
I
What's
kind of
more your
like
pace?
cheesy kids movies.
Okay.
Oh, those are the best.
What
And
stands
also-
out?
Those are the best.
I just like things that are overly happy and that have like a kind of a feel good. I like feel good.
You don't like to live in
things.
reality.
I do like reality, but I want a happier reality.
I think
you
that's something we
know?
can all strive for. It'll be cool to see Jonah Hill's perception of his mid-90s reality. So, Jack, you're a big Walking Dead fan. Get into season 9, and the big question at hand is: should the show still be going on after 8 years, 9 seasons?
Well, a
Long
lot of
time.
people have speculated that the creators of AMC are just starting to run out of ideas, and because
Yeah.
a lot of people said it gets it gets repetitive, right?
I think so too.
There's the farm, the prison, they just keep migrating places.
Yeah.
Yeah, they find a place and kind of linger on it.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
move.
just
Yeah. A lot of the characters are leaving and getting killed off.
Yeah.
Did Michonne get killed? Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, no
I don't know
spoilers
anything.
here.
I think as a concept, though, as something that takes place in a post-apocalyptic universe, it's hard to have an end game in sight. And some of my favorite shows, they start with the A in mind and their Z. They know where they're going to end. So, as Jillian, we were speaking before we came on the show tonight. You haven't seen the show, but from what you've seen, do you think there's still a reason to be producing this kind of television?
I don't know. It's hard. It's going on for 9 seasons, so I think at some point it needs to get the axe.
Yeah.
But people seem to enjoy it, though. There's those diehard fans. So yeah,
That's me.
I think.
Yeah.
My best guy friend watches this show, so at this point, I think he's kind of stopped talking about it, so I think he stopped watching, but maybe he will. He hasn't said anything about it recently, so I think it might be time for it to go.
I checked out around season 6. So, what I think for diehard fans like Jack, hopefully whenever they do end it, it does have a nice wrap up.
as much as I love the show, they'll have to end it eventually. Otherwise, it's gonna I'm fear they're gonna make something that's gonna mess up the story or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Add a whole weird thing that's no one's gonna be interested in.
Like a reboot.
Like a reboot. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. Let's see how this season comes out. It's getting pretty good reviews so far. So that's it for Film and TV tonight. We'll be right back with some more hot takes on music. All right, sorry I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. So, what I felt like I was watching trailers for Stars Born for years. I felt like every movie I went to, there was. Don't you remember? It was Bradley Cooper singing, and then there was all the memes that were building up to it of walking out the car. So I think it's the first film in history that's had meme build up, which is that's going to be interesting going forward. But anyway, it's out, and the soundtrack is on the Billboard charts.
Yeah, #1.
What do you guys think of the soundtrack?
I thought it was pretty good. I saw the movie last week with a friend spontaneously.
Okay.
The storyline, really predictable, especially if you're in film and you know how films work. I was like, oh, something's going to happen at the end. So, I love the soundtrack. Good singing. I was really surprised by Bradley Cooper's voice. I thought he was
It was all him. That was really impressive. Did any of you have the chance to see it?
I'm dying to see it. I really want to see it. But I think this film is unique because it's Lady Gaga. We don't see her acting, and we don't see Bradley Cooper singing. So we have this kind of two different aspects coming in. So I'm really excited to see it. And people that I've talked to, they didn't really love Lady Gaga in the past, but after seeing this movie, they're like, wow, my opinion has changed. I really love her.
I entirely agree. I think it shows how versatile she can be. Jack, are you a little monster? Are you a Lady Gaga fan?
I used to listen to her stuff back in the day.
It's
I mean,
fun.
I'm not like obsessed with her music. But
Right.
I do have to point out though that the soundtrack in this, like, I do like the soundtrack
It's
in this
good.
project. I love it very much.
I think it's the strongest part of it, and it's cool to see that even people who haven't seen the film yet are still drawn to the soundtrack and the story behind it. And it's doing a good job on the charts. So as people are getting attached to Star is Born, hearts are breaking over Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
He retired. Everyone, their moms, grandmas, everyone's crying over him.
Yeah.
I love him.
I love him,
He
and
is
it's
awesome.
upsetting
What
to
a
see
man.
that had happened.
Very upsetting.
It's upsetting.
The world is sad.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
don't know-
darker place for it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the type of thing where he's gonna take a few years off or
Yeah.
if he's actually done. So.
That's what I was wondering as well.
I mean, every creative artist deserves like a break,
Yeah.
even if it's like for eternal. Like he left his mark on the world. so-
Definitely. That's a
That
really good
Christmas
point.
album
Yeah.
will forever play in malls across America.
Legendary.
Yeah. That's what he's most known for. Do you guys know any tracks outside of his Christmas
Oh,
work?
yes,
like off
I
top?
know.
I do. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah.
I know tons.
Haven't met you yet.
Yes, I love that
Oh, that's
song.
a good one.
Yeah.
I do like that.
That one's good.
And then he did a bunch of like Frank Sinatra, like he did Dream
Yeah.
a Little Dream of Me and You Make Me Feel So Young, which is
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
nice. Well, he's definitely
And Fly Me to the Moon.
Yes.
he will be a missed voice in music
Yeah.
because there's not how many people are like doing like swing time like jazz songs like him anymore.
Yeah.
I secretly do it. People think I'm weird for it though.
No, I wouldn't think it's
I
weird
do
at all.
not.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
not
I
care.
love
I like
swing.
expressing myself.
Yeah.
As you should, man. That's awesome. I love the way you express yourself.
Oh, but he does have. He has an album coming out in November called Love. So we have to look forward to that.
So that's look forward to.
definitely.
Oh, good.
Could be like his last thing for a
That
while.
could be like
Good
his
for him
last
for
thing.
taking a break. I feel like a lot of times people who enjoy pop culture assume that artists owe us something. No,
Yeah,
they don't. Like
they
they put it
don't.
out there. We get to enjoy what they
they're not
do for that
robots.
period of time. So, Michael, we wish you the best in this time of need. So, watch this short clip, and we'll be right back with this week's pop culture news. Sit tight. All right, so I feel like for this week in pop culture, the first thing we have to tackle is Piers Morgan's being a dick again. That guy
Yeah.
sucks. Nothing new. Personally, thought as soon as I saw the first headline about what he had said about Daniel Craig, I thought it was ridiculous. And then somehow, for the third straight week on the show, we have to get into Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. They've been popping up in the news, but this time this is like really serious.
Yeah.
Like it's really sad. We need to talk about
Major.
Actual news.
Yeah, he's deleted all of his social media. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh, really? Ooh,
It's
that's
DEFCON
serious.
4 level.
Okay, that's weird.
It's bad.
I mean, there's still screenshots out there of
Right,
his tweets,
well-
so they're not going anywhere.
No, yeah.
What were
anywhere.
the screenshots? I don't know.
Well, like they were like I guess people. I found these on Google, so it's like. It's like, oh wow, you did this, like that type of thing. They're just It's like on the dad issue, like
Right.
it's kind of messy. Twitter
Yeah.
gets messy.
It does get messy.
The internet, what you put is out there. You know, fans
Yeah.
are screenshotting it.
Out there forever.
It's out there
Yeah.
forever. But
Well, Piers' thing, let's just get Piers out of the way so we
Right.
hop into the good stuff. Piers is just like, this is more of a black and white story.
Yeah.
I don't think it's at all correct to look, is it a papoose or a papoose? Can anyone?
the baby carrier.
The baby carrier.
Oh yeah.
A baby carrier.
Because when I saw the British things, the guy was like, "Oh, Piers, you got shame little man with a papoose. This is for you." And he like pies in the face of them. I didn't mean to assault you like that, but he just like pies in the face of someone. He's like, "This is for all the guys who carried papooses." So I wasn't sure
Oh,
if
wow,
it
that
was
was
papoose
really
or
good.
papoose. But yeah, like
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's a busy guy. He should
Yeah.
have all his hands moving at all times.
No,
he
it's
doesn't.
his infant daughter. Why not?
He's
Like,
being a good
Dad
dad.
of the year.
yes,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And
I would love my mans to carry my baby around while I have to carry all the other, like the baby bag. Like, help
Absolutely.
out. Like,
Yeah.
also daddy-daughter bonding time.
cute.
Also, if he's got to go James Bond in the streets, you
Yeah.
know, carry the baby, like
Hands-free.
protect the baby,
Yeah.
but
It
fight
also,
the
like-
crime. Like,
It also shows your fans how big of heart you have.
Yeah.
And, like if you have like children and you bring
Yeah.
them with you on your work day.
I think so. That's awesome.
people love children.
I think so.
I've never met someone who doesn't.
yeah, well, a lot of
There's people.
I think that if like girls love that stuff. Like if I see a man with a baby, I'm like,
yeah.
date, you know, you want to marry me too, you know?
I'm like, Daniel Craig's great.
Yeah.
And I feel like his reputation's been a little muddied because he's come out and said things like, I'd rather slit my wrists than play James Bond again, which is
Jeez.
pretty dark. So I
Very
feel like
hard.
this is some good PR for him, bad PR for
Right.
Piers.
That's not what you should be
Who's
saying.
going to come out
publicly.
of this Pete and Ariana thing, though. Like, what's gonna happen there, gang?
Ariana's gonna move on. She's gonna find herself another man.
On a bigger and better.
I just don't understand celebrity relationships. They're too short.
I agree.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind romance. I think they met on SNL. They were engaged a few weeks later.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, and it's also following the death of her ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller, so I think she could be going through some dramatic.
And I don't know if you heard, Jillian, but there's some dirt. There's some
Really?
dirt, everybody.
Oh,
So
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
it's the tea spilling out.
Give us that dirt.
TMZ broke this. I don't know how trustworthy they are. They're kind of like a rumor-based publication. But like, I haven't been wronged by TMZ in my life. They broke that. She broke up with him because he was like sending pictures of like him and Ariana to Mac Miller to be like, back off, dude. Which is super fucked up.
And then that
he died.
happened. Okay.
Wow.
So, and it was such a sudden like breakup. Maybe she saw that. It was like, it's over.
Yeah, red flag.
Big red flag.
Wow.
Wouldn't be
I didn't
cool.
know
So that's
that.
upsetting.
Like before, you can't take away what you post on the internet.
Yeah, you gotta be safe. I don't know. Guys always
Be
rub
responsible.
me
Yeah.
wrong.
Social
Especially
media.
celebrities.
Especially celebrities.
Yeah.
That hair dye just wasn't working for him either.
I agree. So I don't know. I'm interested to see if he comes on Weekend Update to see if he has any rebuttal to this. I have to think he's not going to be on this upcoming episode of SNL. But
Probably not.
with that downer of a note, we'll be right back. Oh no, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight for our trending topics. But we're going to take a quick break and be right back with an all-new Blazer Report. Stay tuned.
Skating like shit today, man.
Looks cool to me.
I'm Ruben.
Stevie.
How long you been friends with those guys?
Couple months.
They're really cool. They're so cute. They're like at the age before guys become dicks.
You think you're pretty cool. You good? Your ghetto-ass friends. You're just a little kid.
You alright? A lot of the time, we feel like our lives are the worst, but I think if you looked at anybody else's closet, you wouldn't trade your shit for their shit. So let's go.
That's why we ride a piece of wood, what that does to somebody's spirit.
So cool.
Yo, Stevie is insane.
Live from Studio A, it's the Blazer Report. With Eliza Grata and Juliana Zatarain.
Hi, and welcome to the Blazer Report. I'm Juliana Zatarain.
And I'm Eliza Grata.
And in news, on October 11th, Kanye West was invited to a meeting with President Donald Trump in the Oval Office of the White House. See, the only rapper I thought of whenever I heard MAGA was like Lil Wayne, because you know, MAGA, 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 MAGA. Seriously, what is he saying? But actually, Kanye is confused, and I don't think some Republicans really actually read the book because it didn't say a second coming of Jesus. So watch out for your job, Ben Carson, because Don has 2 black friends now.
Last Friday, a Toronto man jumped into a shark tank at a local aquarium naked and began swimming with the sharks. Once the police were called, they arrived at the scene 7 minutes later, but the man was gone. Visitors of the aquarium that witnessed the event have reported the man looked very relaxed during his swim. Creepy. He was taken into custody on Tuesday. Honestly, I think anyone ballsy enough to do that should be given a good job, a pat on the back, and a 500-foot restriction from schools and playgrounds.
In Canada, legislation legalizing recreational marijuana came into effect Wednesday after being passed by the Senate over the summer. So, weed is legal, eh? Just remember, kids, don't smoke weed and drive. That doesn't sound cool enough, though, so joints or tires, only roll one.
President Trump sat down with CBS's Leslie Stahl for an interview for an episode of 60 Minutes, during which the president questioned whether or not humans are to blame for climate change, specifically saying, I think there is probably a difference, but I don't know that it's man-made. I'm not denying climate change, but it could very well go back. What the fuck is he saying? This man can somehow make no discernible opinion while still taking the worst side. Many scientists have responded to this interview saying Trump's response was disturbing, disappointing, and sad. Yes, a 72-year-old man not believing in literal fact is disturbing, disappointing, and sad, but not as disturbing, disappointing, and sad as every other thing he has ever said in his entire life.
Puppeteer Carol Spinney, who has voiced Sesame Street characters Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch for nearly 50 years, will retire this week. As for the Yellow Fellow, he'll be impersonating the president by continuing to have a hand shoved up his butt, telling him what to say. But as for our favorite green garbage monster, he'll be moving over to HBO, where he'll be writing, directing, and starring in a tell-all docuseries about modern America called From My Trash Can to Yours.
Dunkin' has dropped the donuts from their name, but it will never leave my mass-hole heart. Also, Dunkin' has teamed up with Harpoon Brewery to create a coffee porter. It combines Dunkin's classic espresso blend coffee with Harpoon's famous craft beer. Now you can start and end your day with Dunkin', by which I mean drinking the coffee porter in the morning to rid yourself of a hangover from drinking beer the night before, and then coffee porter, hold the coffee to continue that buzz all night. Thanks, Dunkin'.
A different kind of Brexit. Meghan Markle is pregnant. Yes, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are very pleased to announce that the Duchess is expecting a baby in the spring of 2019. Wow, the most labor that kid will ever have to do is when his mom is 10 centimeters dilated. I feel like when you hand a British royal a baby, they don't really know what to do because they're just like always with their servants and they do everything for them. So they're just like, I don't know what to do. Take this, put it with the stuff that we don't use anymore, like that typewriter, India.
According to a study done this year, droughts and heat waves caused by global warming will severely hurt barley crops, causing the price of beer to at least double by the coming decades. Finally, middle-aged white Republicans have a masculine reason to believe in climate change. Even if Brett Kavanaugh did get convicted of sexual assault, this would still be the worst thing to happen to him all year. I like beer. We drink beer.
In an interview with ABC News that was recorded during her recent trip to Africa, Melania Trump was asked about her and her husband's personal relationship. Here's a clip.
Do you love your husband?
Yes, we are fine. Yes.
Amazing. Who was forcing her to say... Wait, zoom in. Enhance. Oh my God.
A 4-year-old girl in New York City surprised her mom when she brought back cocaine from her preschool. The girl, Serenity, was given the cocaine in small containers by a boy at her school, and she believed that it was teeth. When Serenity and her mother went to the police department to find out exactly what the so-called teeth were, Serenity's mom was more shocked to find her daughter acting more hyper than usual, after Serenity said that the rocks tasted terrible. Yes, that's right, a 4-year-old named Serenity is harder than you'll ever be. When asked on her reaction to the drug, she said, yeah, yeah!
And finally, we're all gonna die. That's not a joke. Please recycle. And for the Blazer Report, I'm Juliana Zatarain.
And I'm Eliza Grata. Have a good night, everyone.
Can't walk away from where I've been. Hear they calling. Walking on the water, dropping sun in my dream. Gonna make the devil holler, hallelujah.
MCTV. My name is Tony Brown. This is Cribs. We're here in Lower New Townhouses at the J1 Townhouse. Let's see who's home. Yo, what the fuck? Hey yo, what's up? This is Cribs. What's your name? My name's Joe. Hey Joe! Is this your crib? Bye guys. Anyway, we are at Joe's crib. Check out this sick family room with all these expensive stolen bikes. Yeah, we stole a lot of them. But anyway, so we are here at Joe's house. What shit? Oh. Okay, all right. Let's go to the kitchen.
And over here is my humble kitchen. Pretty nice, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and outside our kitchen we have a nice, beautiful view. And as you can see, we get many visitors outside our window. There's one right now. Is that looked just like Tony, I swear. That was really weird. Alright, what the?
Hey, let's go see the bedroom. Wow, I love this carpet. It must be cashmere. It must be cashmere. That's what it must be. So this is the room, eh? I like the scenery. Vintage lamp. Ken Direct Lemaire poster. Roommate. That's pretty cool. Wow, what's this? It's a cello. I know how to play one of these. That's off. Give us a little tour. What's in this place?
Yeah, so that's my bed right there. I don't know if you saw that already. This is my closet. I have a few garments. That's talcum powder, so there's no need to.
Yeah. Understood. That's sugar?
Yeah, I have a lot of sugar. I have a sweet tooth.
My mom says I'm not allowed to eat these. All I gotta say about that is, damn!
But unfortunately, it's time to leave. So here's the exit.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. It's been fun. I'll see you around.
Wait, what is that?
Andrew, can you guys get out of the seat so I can do a mic check on John and Ben?
As I mentioned earlier, tonight we have a very special guest on the show. This man has been behind Studio A since the very beginning, and he is way overdue for his own appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, MCTV President, Kevin Kleinschmidt.
You're talking me up way too much there.
Not enough. Please, sit down.
I will.
Before Kevin, this wouldn't feel right without having a couple beverages. I think we need to get into it tonight with a few drinks, just to ease the tension. So
oh yeah,
I have a little surprise for you. We're gonna crack open a cold one on set tonight, everybody. Kevin, let's get into it. Oh boy. Here we go. How's your day, man?
I'm gonna get so much
Down the
backlash.
hatch to a good show and a good semester.
The refreshing taste of Mountain Dew.
We're brand ambassadors. We're rocking the green tonight. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
What do you want to know?
I want to know everything. I feel like we're good friends.
You're like one of my best friends.
You're one of my best friends. That means a lot. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, where you're from, what it was like to grow up in the Kleinschmidt household.
All right. So I guess from a little crazy household. I'm a twin. So that's kind of an interesting fact about me and my childhood.
Is twin telepathy real?
No.
No?
No.
Shoot it down.
It does not work. It is beneficial, like when you're in high school though, and you like forget your textbook, and your sister's like, "I got it," and then you do your homework.
That's awesome. You feel very close with your twin?
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's awesome. And do you have another younger sister? Right?
I do have a younger sister.
That's awesome. Is she jealous of the twin dynamic?
I don't think so. She's like, you know how it is. The baby of the family is always like the most spoiled.
That's
so,
good.
like, she doesn't care about the twin thing.
Do you feel like because you're one of the older ones, you have to bear the brunt of some responsibility around the house?
Definitely, yeah. Because like I am actually 20. I'm the oldest twin too.
Okay. How much later did you come out? Did you beat her by a lot?
20 minutes.
You beat her by 20 minutes? Is that a lot?
I don't know, man.
That's a lot, I think.
But yeah, I'd say, yeah.
That's good.
The parents, they expect a little bit more out of me, I think.
You're a cadet.
Was a cadet.
Was a cadet.
Yeah.
Tell us about your time with the academy.
So in high school, I was involved in a police cadet program. It was kind of like a volunteer work. So we would go out to like different community events and kind of just patrol, make sure like little kids aren't like running into the street, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we would have our own private meetings where we would learn, police tactics and stuff like that.
I can see that so perfectly. I can see myself getting pulled over by you.
I don't ever want to pull you over, though.
Did you hold a gun? Not that those two things should go right together.
I mean, we would take trips to like the shooting range.
That's really cool.
It wasn't like, here, Kevin, have this for the night. Like,
I don't know what I would do with a gun if I ever saw one IRL.
You've never gone to like a shooting range?
Never been to a range. I have no desire to own one. That's not really for me. I think it's good just to eliminate them from the situation. You don't know how rowdy a night could get, and if it comes out that someone's got a pistol laying around, and someone gets kind of crazy. But I feel like it'd be fun to go to a range before I die, just to like.
I think you should. Yeah.
Hold one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an exhilarating feeling.
You like how it feels to hold one in your hand?
No, I mean like no, I didn't.
Kevin's got gun fever, guys. You heard it here first.
No, I haven't gone to the range in like 5 years. So.
That's right. So, what was your transition like leaving this state, leaving Connecticut, where you have your twin sister, your little sister, you had your academy, you had your grocery store, which I'm sure was Employee of the Month many times. Can you confirm that?
There was no Employee of the Month awards.
You don't run an Employee of the Month?
That was a great time, working at the grocery store in high school.
Yeah.
But, so you're talking about the transition from like.
Yeah, from home, high school, coming to campus. What was that like at first?
I think for everyone, it's just a little bit challenging the first couple of weeks until you find your group. Like, I remember my first couple of weeks, I didn't really get to know too many people, and then actually this club was really helpful in that.
Yeah, it's definitely jarring at first.
It's one of the things I value most about this club is the friendships you can make and stuff like that.
So how did you first catch wind of the club?
Well, I did TV production in high school,
and
I really enjoyed it. So I was like, let me see if Maris does something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind every time I remember that you have nothing in your curriculum that's filmmaking or production based. You just have all this awesome knowledge and way of working with people that makes this club run so well.
Yeah, I'm an IT major, which I really love. What I've been doing. I did an internship this past summer. That was fantastic. But I've always had a thing for TV production there. I was like, this is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And it's really the people that make it,
Yeah. Is that what does it for you for production, being able to work on a team? And
the quality of people we have at this club are just tremendous. That's what keeps me coming,
Yeah. That was a later question I had for you tonight, but you kind of alluded to that. What are your motivations? What kind of gets you up and going in the morning?
For like just life?
Yeah, I guess just life. Like, do you have any role models or people that really inspire you?
I'd say my grandfather is probably like a big idol in my life.
That's
like,
really
you know,
nice.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time with him growing up.
Yeah, I actually lived right next door to my grandparents.
That's right, you told me
my
that.
whole life. So like, you know, I was always hanging out with my grandparents.
Couldn't avoid them.
No,
they saw what you do. So what were the early years of the club like? Were they any different from how it is now? Could you talk to us about that a little bit?
I think it was a totally different vibe. I mean, now I think we have like a really good balance of like entertainment, sports, and news. When I first got here, it was pretty much entertainment was like the dominant party of the club.
Right.
We had like we were running shows like we would do like studio like the middle seats every week.
Yeah, those two kids wouldn't shut up about movies.
Yeah,
they just had a thing for it.
You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it was just really like exhausting, and then we were like, you know, let's cut back to show every once a week, and it worked out really well. But totally different vibe. Totally different vibe.
I mean, I think what's so great about the club is a lot of people are given opportunities to get in different places. They're not going to be locked in doing one thing.
Yeah.
Everyone can to get out what they put into it.
Exactly.
I think it's been really cool to see. Do you have any memories that stand out in your time with us?
I got to say the last Middle Seats episode was really special.
We cried.
We cried. Yeah, I was. It was an emotional night.
Yeah.
And then also, It Takes Two was probably like one of the coolest experiences I've had at Marist.
Yeah.
Working with Nate and Danny, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was just like a fun show, you know.
Seeing the evolution of the game shows was really cool. Seeing
Yeah,
it go from Outside the Box into It Takes Two, and seeing Jamie make it her own thing apart from Nate's was really exciting. And you directed both of those, correct?
So I directed the second year of Outside the Box, and then I directed It Takes Two last year.
That's awesome.
And you know, maybe if someone has an idea, let's bring back a game show.
Let's bring back a game show. That could be really fun. As someone I've always looked up to as a director, do you have any advice for someone who wants to direct?
Like in MCTV?
In MCTV and life, how to manage a team? Because you run this thing like a very well-oiled machine. I'm always impressed how you're always prepared. You always keep everyone in a good mood, and you never lose your cool. It's really impressive to see.
I think the keep your cool thing is really the most important part of it. Because, you know, technical issues are always going to happen. Yeah. And you have to know how to, you know, overcome that and be like, all right, we're going to go in this route instead, and that, you know, it's going to work out well.
Yeah.
And also, like, even if you, like, are a little upset, like, oh, man, I really wish that mic was working. Like, not letting that anger show, like, the general, like, you know, you don't want people to, like, look at you and be like, oh, God, he's angry all the time. Like
a good pitcher on the mound.
Right.
You can't look like you got
Yeah, you have to have good composure.
Exactly. That's what I like to hear. So what's on the horizons for you going forward with your senior year and even post-grad life? What do you have coming up?
Trying to get a job, man. That's as simple as it is. You know, starting to apply places. Finding a job and then, you know, just finishing school. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think you have some really exciting things ahead. I've been really lucky to have you as a president.
No, I've been lucky to have you. Like,
thank you, man.
PB&J right here.
PB&J.
RTJ.
Lock that up. All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Give us a little insight.
Can I keep the do?
You can absolutely keep the do. You're the king of the do.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you so much for all you do for us, for being a great friend, for showing us and teaching us so much throughout the semester and throughout life. And this isn't the end. A lot of things going forward. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, we still have a whole nother semester.
I can't wait to see what you'll do in the future. So thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Bring it in. All right.
I'm taking this.
That looks natural, right? Everyone clap it up for Kevin. Sign him off with some do. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us today. Now, let's throw it to Teresa, who's joined with tonight's musical guest, Emilie Riccardi, who's all set to rock the sax. Let's see it, Teresa.
Hey John, so I am here in Symphonic Hall about to meet Emilie Riccardi. She's playing soprano saxophone, but let's go check it out. Bye. awesome. Thank you so much, Emilie. That was Emilie Riccardi on her soprano saxophone playing Girl on Fire. Throw it back to you, John, at Studio A.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much to our panel and Kevin for coming to hang with us tonight. You can watch the show on our YouTube page, MCTV HD. And don't forget, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. For Studio A, I'm John Osborne. Good night, everyone.